Stay tuned. The
Are you ready?
series is going to
Wake up your magic.
My name is Fanta.
Control is a state of awareness. And in saying that, we want to be in control of ourselves anytime we're in a conversation or an emotional outpour with some kind of relationship with yourself or something that's going on with you or your life or the people that you love. So the question today is, where would control come in and how would control benefit you in a way that would serve you to evolve? Thinking that you can control others or thinking that you are able to control situations or being in control of things that you have no control of, okay, seems to defeat the purpose or be of a trickery or an illusion. So what I want to raise your awareness to is you and only you today. What can you truly control? And for you to raise your awareness to maybe what is controlling you. So let's start with you being the thinker and having the thoughts that you have. Do you control them or do they just come in? Are you reacting to them? Are you responding to them? What is really going on? And the truth is that we don't really know what's going on until we kind of pause and step back just a little bit and just take a moment to reflect. Because the truth is that it's really just going all inside you. That is how we are able to control ourselves. The minute you're able to pause, okay, and take that step back, you're able to go within yourself and have a look. And that is what raises your awareness. And that's what now changes the equilibrium of controlling who you are, what is going on, what is triggering you, what is pulling you, what maybe you pulling or maybe you might be pushing. These are all the different things and the dynamics that go on with any time that you're trying to control a situation, a thing or a person, right? So let's raise our awareness and let's take it a little bit further to help you today, not just to be out there with this conversation. One, how do you take control of a situation? And I have to say a situation because you cannot control the person, right? So if you are trying to control somebody else, just write them a letter, maybe burn it, maybe release yourself from all the holds and fears of you being controlled by them, because there is no way that you, me, or anybody else can control somebody else, okay? It is not possible. It doesn't exist. It's not in the semantics of the cosmic universe allowance, if there is even such a word or a book, right? In your book of life, you have no power to control somebody else, right? So, in saying that, how do we step back? How do we pull back? How do we come back and take a look within ourselves? What is that called? How do you do that? And where does it come from? And this is where I go back to you being in charge, you being the oracle, you being the one that has choice, you being the one that can master that, you being the one that can choose either left or right or wrong, being introspective. What is that called? I love to call that a ray of light, and I give this name of poise to this ray of light. Poise is the one that gives you that moment within yourself to step it in and just pause your thought, your emotion, and who you're going to act out as. That poise there, that trinity of your thinker, your feeler, and your actor, of how the actor is going to respond or that actor is going to react, right? If that actor is going to react, then that poise is gone. There is no poise. If you're reacting, there is no illusion or confusion. You have not poised. You have not paused. You have not gone within yourself and raised your awareness. You have reacted. So, is that clear? So let's go back one more time and let's reframe this because this is important. Why? Because when you strengthen this ray of light, when you are in tune with yourself and you have the muscle to control yourself between your thinker and your feeler, and you're going to choose to either react or respond, you are now in that ray of light of controlling yourself to serve your higher self and your higher good. Now, when you are really getting into the stream and the flow of this, and there are no words for this, but so let me rephrase this. It's not that you're going to start getting, because you can't start getting anything. You are now in this realignment and you're in this flow now that gives you this stable confidence and security, okay, between your thoughts and your emotions that give you this inner perspective and awareness of where you are. So if you know that you're getting angry and you know that these emotions have no density to them, right? Meaning that anger doesn't have 50 shades of anger, okay? Anger is anger. You are the ones that have different stages, and you are the one that probably has the different shades to how angry you can get, but not anger. So you can't control that, right? You're the one that has hatred is hatred. There's no 50 shades, okay, to hatred. Hatred is hatred. You're the one that has the different shades to that, not somebody else. Or not, well, somebody else would probably have that, okay? But it's hatred itself. That's the emotion, right? That's the feeling. So in saying that, how do you can't control the anger. When the anger's there, it's there. What can you control? Where you are. You raising your awareness and being able to bring this ray of light in, which is poise, all right? Bring the space into yourself that you're raising your awareness, and now you have this ability, okay, to neutralize what I call your surroundings between your thoughts and your feelings, and you're neutralizing and you're raising this awareness. You're also strengthening this ray of light and giving you, okay, the sense of confidence on how to respond to this thought or to this emotion that's giving and stirring up these feelings, okay, that are creating either these different shades within yourself of anger or these different shades of other emotional aptitudes, okay, that can only come from you and your own memory bank. When you lose your poise, when you get angry and get triggered by past emotions, that means that you have got no control over your mind. It means that your mind is in charge. It means that your ego is in charge. It means that these thoughts that can kind of vampirize you, that can get into you and suck the juices out of you, are in control. Now think about that just for a second. Doesn't that kind of huh? How can I be given control to thoughts and emotions and feelings that don't serve me? Where do I come into the picture of this conversation with myself, where I'm the creator of my life and I'm the one that's choosing this? So who's in control of me? Am I just a puppet? Am I in the hands of the contrast of what I think is benevolent for me? I hope I'm knocking at your door, and I'm hoping that these knocks are very, very loud and that you open the door to these questions. Because the minute you ask yourself this question, your higher self will respond. And if you have got any inkling or a feeling that you are not in control of yourself, then I would poise so often to strengthen this ray of light within you so that you are the one that is in charge of what you think and how you feel, so that you can choose what to do in your reaction or your response, okay, to the life that you're creating or experiencing. Control is such a big word, okay, and yet it is so misunderstood, misused, and out of balance, if you may, okay, because we, the generators, we, the creators, okay, we are the ones that choose to give up that essence or not. Now, when a thought does overtake you and you feel that you have got this force of your 50th shade of anger and you no longer have control, you have to pay attention to how you allowed yourself to escalate, okay, to these degrees of anger, okay, that you have not maybe even taken care of. This is not the time or the age or the era to be putting any emotional baggage under the carpet, in the closet, under your bed, hiding it, storing it, and doing whatever, because it doesn't work anymore. We're in the age of Aquarius, and the age of Aquarius changes this because we are all awakening. So everything that has been sleeping is waking up. Everything that has been dormant is waking up. Everything in this awakening, you are waking up to the wholeness of who you are. So learning to control what you can is now vital. How do you control social media? How do you control a conversation led by somebody else? How do you control a debate in politics? How do you control the hierarchy of religion? How do you control somebody else writing a book and being the author of their own life? How do you control somebody's conversation in an interview? You don't. You do not control that. The only thing you can control is how you continuously respond and react to who you are being in that present moment. And it takes a lot nowadays to be present because we are so caught in this nebulous interception of interruptive, cognitive thoughts and processes and pullings and pushings between who we should be, who we have to be, who we can be, and reaching all of our potential. All in this buffet of life that you have to be very discerning and selective of, and I'm going to add another one in there, knowing of who and what you are and how you can control yourself has now become like the biggest conversation that you can have with yourself. So if I have knocked at your door, and today you might have opened it with a question, what can you control? And are your thoughts controlling you? You want to raise your awareness to that because it's done so subtly that you catch yourself reactive when you're tired or when you've had, maybe a glass or two too many, or you've exerted yourself and you've been working with something going on in the background, some kind of music that maybe has just started underlying stressing you out. Sometimes we are so used to what stresses you out that you don't even pay attention that you are overstressed because you're actually intuitive and sensitive. You're empathic, okay? And you have this ability to control your environment by the way you feel. So it's such a big conversation, and a conversation that I could truly have for hours and probably days with you because it's interconnected and it links up to the next thought form or the next feeling that you have, that maybe you raise your awareness and, you know what? I can't control that. Or I can control how I feel about that. I might not control, my sibling, but I can control how I love and choose to be patient with my sibling. I can't control my spouse or my partner, but I can choose to override the resentment or the angers that are being triggered by past experiences. And if you really want to be good to yourself, then you really want to be able to control yourself to the best way that you stay poised. Now, I'm going to tell you, with everything in life, if you're just stacking it up and if you're hoarding these emotions that trigger and you keep on not being able to control yourself with them, well, then it's time for you to take control over the situation and clean it out. Like, clear out your mental processes, clear out your emotions, go for a walk, breathe it in, breathe it out, okay? Inhale it in, exhale it out. Allow the universal the universal spectrum of your own divine breath to move through you so that that energy is able to be controlled in a way that kind of gives you insight and support and kind of opens up the possibility to you reaching a center of awareness that when you are tired and when you are exhausted and when you are out of your natural environment and space and rhythm, you still have that ability to control yourself and avoid somebody's distortiveness or angers or shadow aspects of self or even darkness, okay, to penetrate and poke your own shadows that take you right up to the 50th degree of your anger and spoil your tea party of inner well-being and benevolence. So it's really, really time for us to be selective and pay attention to this intuitive voice within ourselves and these whispers that our higher selves give us versus to the voices of hatred and resentment and emotional triggers, because you cannot control that. Those are thought forms and emotions from the past. And the only way that you can control that past is by bringing peace to where you are now and bringing resolution to being in a space of light and poise. Poise is that you are not feeding that past anymore, okay? That fuel and that anger or that hatred or that resentment. You are giving yourself that 2-minute option of giving yourself that ray of strength and know that you have a higher self. You have all the energy that you need. You're able to resuscitate this sense of wisdom within you, and that you do have the ability to make the right choice and respond to your life into the degree that it benefits you and those around you. So when you do catch yourself losing control of a situation that you thought you had it under wraps, just allow yourself that moment to poise and raise your awareness so that that inner frequency and that vibration of light overrides those shadows that tend to be running wild right now. So stay good, stay in that poise.
You want to laugh
and just
again?
remember,
You want to
you
open
are
up and
the
awaken
one that
your
controls
wisdom
it all.
box so that you can manifest your dreams in this lifetime experience. We are empathic. We are sensitive. We are intuitive. We are psychically attuned to this energy world that is awakening who we are. You're so much more than who you think you are. And remind yourself that your higher self absolutely knows what you want. You are the creator of your future life. Holds for you what you have put into your future, what you're thinking, but most of all, what you're feeling. That is what is coming to you. That is how the universe talks. You are the creator of your life. We all are. Are you ready?
My name is Vanna.